Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's Cowboys postgame show episode here at LANGERR and Mike Live. Cowboys, that was a tough loss to the Arizona Cardinals, 30-10, the final on Monday Night Football. And man, that was just bad. That was bad. That was just really, really bad. I am wearing my Dak Prescott jersey because, he's our quarterback, and the Cowboys really missed him tonight. I know I try not to say "we's" on these shows, but Cowboys are missing Dak right now. Cowboys Nation is definitely missing Dak right now, and that was just. If you thought the Cleveland Browns game was bad, that just probably topped it. Oops, sorry about that. Move my camera a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna get into a little bit of my in-game notes, even though there isn't really much to say, just because it was just an overall embarrassment by this Cowboys team. And we'll get some big picture notes and bottom line as well. So let's get right into it. Interestingly enough, this game was a punt fest from the very start. From the very beginning, this was a punt fest because there were 5 punts in the first quarter. The Cardinals were inefficient throwing the ball. Kyler Murray was inaccurate. He had an under 50% completion percentage on the game, by the way, which we'll get to in a bit. And they missed 2 deep shots early. And there were 5 punts early in the game. And but the Cowboys offense was just worse somehow, because there was that Andy Dalton play. There was that second possession which I believe started inside the Cowboys 5-yard line as usual, because when are the Cowboys ever going to get good field position? So it started inside the Cowboys 5-yard line off a punt, and the first play from scrimmage is Andy Dalton just. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was trying to throw the ball away or what it was, but he just literally threw to a wide open Cardinals linebacker, Jordan Hicks, who just somehow dropped the easiest interception ever, probably just because he has the hands of a linebacker, but whatever. And then right after that was on first down. That was off play action. The second down, right after that, Cowboys get called for too many men in the huddle, of course, because that's how the Cowboys are this season. And then interestingly enough, Dalton amazingly avoided a safety and threw into the dirt. That was on third down. But anyway, that was just an epitome of how bad the Cowboys offense was early on. 5 punts, and then cue the Zach Martin injury, concussion, I think it was, because I think it was Zeke or Tony Pollard ran right into his head. So yeah, just another key injury on the offensive line. I mean, Zach has just been an anchor for this team. I mean, he's just one of the best guards, if not the best guard in the league. So yeah, just that one, just on top of Terrence Smith, Al Collins, and Travis Frederick retiring, all that is just brutal. And then, cue the Zach Martin injury, cue the Zeke fumbles, cue Kyler Murray starting to make plays with his legs, Jalen Smith being caught in no man's land on a third down play where, he had a chance to tackle him. I mean, part of that is just because that's how good Kyler Murray is in the open field, but also Jalen Smith, you got to make that play. You just got to make that play. And then with Zeke, those fumbles by Zeke, Arizona just got 2 relatively easy touchdowns, and those were costly. And that just Ezekiel Elliott right now. I mean, we'll get a little bit more into that, but after getting the contract, is he even an elite running back at this point? Ezekiel Elliott, is he even elite at this point? I don't know. He's really good at turning runs for 1 yard or 2 yard gains into 4 or 5 yard gains, sure, but he just fumbles the ball, and he drops plays in the passing game, drops open passes in the passing game, and he just doesn't take a carry beyond 15 yards, it seems. So anyway, and then that was the Cowboys actually had a pretty good drive when they put Pollard in. They're already down 14-0 at this point. But then they stalled in field goal range and took a penalty and were forced to punt because of that penalty. And right after that, Arizona finally connected with a deep shot, 80 yards to Christian Kirk, 21-0, where both Darrell Worley and Jordan Lewis were in quicksand. Darrell Worley was just staring at Christian Kirk, who just blew right by him for an easy 80-yard touchdown. And at this point, 21-0, the Cowboys had a chance. They had a chance to go up to reduce the margin to 21-7, but it was Michael Gallup who just had his first big drop of the year. Ball went right through his hands. Okay, maybe the throw was a little bit high by Andy Dalton, but Gallup has to make that catch. And Cowboys settle for a field goal, and and they get the ball started second half. But then here's where that again, I don't complain about refs, and that one non-call on Dre Kirkpatrick on him tackling CeeDee Lamb in the middle of his corner route and intercepting Dalton, like that didn't make, that's not the reason why the Cowboys lost. That one play alone is not the reason why the Cowboys lost, but that was a brutal non-call by Clete Blakeman and his crew. Clete Blakeman is just for the last couple of years is one of my least favorite NFL officials. I mean, yeah, just of all, I think we could say that about a lot of NFL officiating crews, but Clete Blakeman is definitely, I think, one of the worst, at least whenever he refs the Cowboys games. And then at that point, look, it was 21-3. Yeah, it was 21-3, and the Cowboys just, the defense, again, they've been okay when they were not having to defend drives that were set up by turnovers. But when they were defending drives that were set up by turnovers, they got gashed. And then Andy Dalton threw an interception in the red zone. And that's pretty much all I have for my relevant in-game notes I want to talk about. So let's talk about overall notes. Like I said, that was just embarrassing. But a lot of issues are injuries, of course. Now Zach Martin, I think even Leighton Vander Esch, who came back, got banged up again. Even Aldon Smith left with a stinger. So just the injuries on this team are just – Like with if you look at Mike McCarthy, what he came into, taking this head coaching position for the Cowboys versus where he is right now. I mean, you can make that meme that's all over Twitter and all over social media. You know how it started versus how it's going, right? Like it's just, yeah. Like how can you? I still take Mike McCarthy over Jason Garrett. I still take Mike McCarthy over Jason Garrett 100%, because Mike McCarthy. Let's see what he does with, half the amount of injuries that are on this team right now. And look, I don't want, I guess fire Mike Nolan. Let's just see what Mike McCarthy could do with a better defense also, and how he would lead or how he would coach that type of team. So anyway, I really thought this offense, like I was dead wrong. And I think a lot of people were dead wrong thinking that this offense would actually be okay and would actually maybe be good going into this game. But it was just, again, continued turning the ball over largely because of Zeke, largely because of that one non-PI call, but again, just being inefficient or not as efficient as could be on offense. And I feel like if it was Dak in this game, it would have been a lot closer, but it's still I still don't think Dak would have been good enough to win this game. I don't think any other quarterback would have helped the Cowboys win this game, because again, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals would have picked them apart on defense. So anyway, we'll get to that in a bit, but I want to talk about Zeke right now. Again, just his fumbling has been unacceptable this year, absolutely unacceptable. And, the contract, again, I think it was RJ Ocho who mentioned this on Twitter, saying how the Cowboys ended up paying Ezekiel Elliott and Jalen Smith in 2019 instead of Byron Jones and Dak Prescott. Huge mistake so far. And that's bad. Now, Ezekiel Elliott finished the day with 12 rushing attempts, 49 yards at an average of 4.1 per carry. He also finished with 8 receptions and 31 yards. So just not very efficient numbers that you'd want to see from a $90 million running back, especially when Derrick Henry took a 92-yard touchdown run to the house yesterday, and he had a 212 yards, whatever it was, in the game against the Texans yesterday. So to think that the Cowboys could have had Jalen Ramsey and Derrick Henry instead of Ezekiel Elliott and Jalen Smith, well, that could be for another video and another topic of conversation. But just saying, just putting that out there. And let's talk about Andy Dalton real quick. Now, I think he deserves a lot of benefit of the doubt, because I actually think he did a really great job escaping a lot of sacks early, because again, when you're down Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, and you have a rookie center in there, and now you lose Zach Martin, there was and Vance Joseph was just sending the house on almost every second play after him. He had pressure all day. Andy Dalton had pressure in his face all day, and I think he did a decent enough job taking only 3 sacks and not 8 sacks. So he deserves credit for that. He also deserves he deserves credit for what's it called? Yeah, just for not taking as many sacks. And I guess, look, I mean, he made some okay throws, he made some okay plays, but overall, given how Zeke put the ball on the ground twice, and he has to, the guy that he's supposed to feed, and now all of a sudden the pressure's on him to bring the Cowboys back in the game. Like, that's not really fair to him. But that being said, again, there were a lot of plays that he missed. Like, there was the hospital pass to Cedric Wilson. I hope Cedric Wilson's okay. Add that to the list of injuries. He overthrew Michael Gallup when Michael Gallup beat Patrick Peterson off the line of scrimmage. I found he was very hesitant in making a lot of throws, for better or for worse. I mean, again, I guess we'd have to watch the all 22 to see if the times that he pulled the ball back, if those were plays that were, that he's noticed that the guy you want to throw to was covered, but just he did not, like, he was hesitant in making a lot of throws, I found. And then obviously the pick in the red zone, that's just on him. You can't have that, especially, at that point in the game. Finished with 34 completions out of 54 attempts. 54 attempts, of course, because that's how the Cowboys are this year in terms of having to throw themselves back in the game. 266 yards, a garbage time touchdown, and 2 interceptions. And like I said, I feel like any other quarterback for this Cowboys that they played for on this Cowboys team tonight would not have had a chance in this game. Okay, maybe Patrick Mahomes, maybe Dak Prescott, maybe Tom Brady in his prime, or Aaron Rodgers at his best could have made this a 10-point game, but still, just with how bad this defense can be, I still think they played okay. But if you have Ezekiel Elliott, one of your best players, putting the ball on the ground twice, that is not on the quarterback. That is on Ezekiel Elliott. And that can't happen. That's unacceptable. Now let's talk a little bit of good news here, just a smidge of good news, just because why not? Because, and it's COVID-19 and this 2020 sucks, and just let's talk about some of the good things in this game. Why not? So Cowboys still have one of the best receiving corps in the league. We know that because they had a good, balanced receiving attack between Amari Cooper, 7 receptions, 79 yards with a garbage time touchdown. CeeDee Lamb had 7 receptions, 64 yards, and a really nice long, I'm just looking it up here. It was a 27-yard reception. Amari Cooper also had a 26-yard reception, so that was really good. Dalton Schultz, Andy Dalton Schultz, I should trademark that if it becomes popular, but the Andy Dalton Schultz connection was okay because he had 4 receptions, 35 yards, so that's nice to see. Gallup, only 2 receptions. I think it was 25 or so yards, 23 yards on 2 receptions for Michael Gallup. So, and that was largely, again, because of a lot of missed opportunities. And that drop at the end of the first half is completely on Michael Gallup. Got to be better than that. And Tony Pollard, even though his stats didn't show it, at least he had a little bit of juice running the ball in the second quarter when he took over for Zeke. And again, the Cowboys, I wanted to say this, before Kenyon Drake broke off that 69-yard touchdown run, but the Cowboys defense was not terribly awful on drives that were not set up by turnovers. And Kyler Murray, I think Kyler Murray was just not great. It was just off passing the ball. He was 9 for 24 passing with 188 yards, but he did have 74 yards rushing, and that was, of course, a really big factor. And if you take away the Kenyon Drake run, the Cowboys gave up 369 yards of total offense. But with the Kenyon Drake run, it was 438 total. So again, apart from the drive set up by turnovers, the Kenyon Drake touchdown, the Christian Kirk touchdown, and the DeAndre Hopkins catch, the Cowboys defense didn't play that bad. But all that did happen, so I don't know if you could really point that as a bright side. A lot of guys are still on the milk carton on the defensive line. DeMarcus Lawrence, of course, Everson Griffin. The defensive line had no sacks. The only sack that the Cowboys had was from Anthony Brown. Just Daryl Worley. I honestly thought Daryl Worley was going to be a lot better. I really did. I thought that going into this offseason, I really thought that, the Cowboys had a long list of corners on their depth chart. Of course, they didn't have any, star-studded guys like Cheeto, Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, Trayvon Diggs. Daryl Worley, I guess, was like the 5th or 6th guy in the depth chart coming into the season. And I thought that as a 5th or 6th corner, Daryl Worley was actually going to be really good, but he's been trashed so far this year. He's been getting burnt like toast, so that's not good. And we got to see Ben DiNucci and Rico Dowdle. Is that good or bad? I'll leave that up to you to decide. But yeah, let's just get to the bottom line. There is one more thing. I take a lot of blame for this Cowboy season as well because I live in Toronto, and the Cowboys are 0-4 whenever I'm in Toronto. But whenever I go home to visit my family in Montreal, Cowboys are 2-0. The Cowboys came back against Atlanta, and the Cowboys beat the Giants when I was in Montreal. But these 4 losses have been while I have been in Toronto. So I'll take fault for that. And looking ahead, the Cowboys play at Washington against the football team on this coming Sunday at 1:00 Eastern. And I believe the Washington can take sole possession of first place in the NFC East with a win on Sunday, because they already beat the Eagles in week 1. And if they beat the Cowboys, that means they will be, I think, 2-5. Cowboys will be also 2-5, and the Washington football team will have the tiebreaker on both the Cowboys and the Eagles. So the Washington football team could take sole possession of first place in the NFC East, or least with a win on Sunday. And as Cowboys fans, I ask you this: is that what we should cheer for? Should we cheer for the Washington football team to win on Sunday and just put the Cowboys, just put this season, put us out of our misery over this season and just tank the rest of the season? I know that's not what the players want. That's not what the coaches want. That's probably not what the front office wants. But I, as a fan, to be completely honest, and you can hate on me all you want, but to be completely honest, like, I don't want Trevor Lawrence going to the Giants. I don't want him going to the football team. And if there's an opportunity to have a top 10 pick, I'm not saying the Cowboys will finish with a worse record than the Giants and Washington football team or Eagles. But if there's an opportunity to get a top 10 pick and just kind of, just forget about this god-awful 2020 season, give Mike McCarthy and even Mike Nolan or whoever to a full offseason to coach up this defense and get our crap together on defense. Again, sorry for the R's and the W's. I try not to, but yeah, just if a full off season can maybe do this team justice, and a top 10 pick that either you choose a great player or trade back and get a bunch of really good players, that could be the best. Like, in terms of big picture scenarios, that is a much better scenario than going 6-10, winning the division, and getting dummied by whoever you're going to play in the wild card round of the playoffs. So yeah, so after the football team, Cowboys are at Philly versus Pittsburgh and at Minnesota. So, hey, we'll see. I'll leave that up to you, Cowboys Nation, to decide whether, to cheer for the Cowboys to try to somehow win these games despite turning the ball over and going down 14, 21, 20, whatever many points in the first half, or to, actually just maybe just accept this season for what it is. Again, I got a cousin and uncle who are Jets fans. Just imagine what they're going through every single year. So, hey, I guess it could be worse for Cowboys Nation. So again, we'll see. That's up to you. But hey, if you've been up this late and have been watching this, thank you so much for watching. As usual, subscribe to my channel, give a big thumbs up on this video and my other Cowboys related videos. And this has been a LANGERR at the Mic live Cowboys postgame show. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again next time.